Let me just tear this apart and go like this.
All right, you ready?
Yes, indeed. Hello, guys. It is Dr. Tiff, your favorite host. And today we are talking about some conversations that are trending. So, I mean, this could be a little bit controversial. Somebody, better. Well, who's going to check me, boo? Y'all know who that was from, right? It's a housewife. Guess who? Uh, so, mentioning housewives, I wanted to talk about the latest with the housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Kenya Moore, who is Miss America or Miss USA, she gets very angry when you say you don't remember which one that is. But she's on Housewives of ATL. And there's another new girl, Britt, that just started this season. And in the latest episode, Britt kind of like, I don't know if you want to say threatens her with a gun, but they had an argument, and Britt basically said, I have my pistol for bitches like you. Like, I got my pistol, right? Now, mind you, I'm in New York, so we don't have no guns here unless they're illegal and you on the street. We don't have no gun. We don't have no license. We don't have nothing. But in Georgia, right, I'm guessing they have license and they can carry guns and it's a carry state or whatever. So she mentions the pistol, and, everyone tends to hear it. And I feel like if that would have stopped there, we would have been cool in the gang, because she probably would have been either reprimanded or fired or whatever. But what happens is she realized where she was wrong. She decides to come to Kenya's event. Kenya had this opening for her hair spa, right? And she comes to Kenya's event with flowers. Kenya's looking at her like, no. And what does Kenya do? I don't even know. And this is premeditated, because how do you create poster boards of this girl? She found some sort of pornography that the girl had partaken in. And of course, they didn't show it on the show, but I guess she was sucking somebody's ding dong. And she had like a promiscuous pictures. And I think she had OnlyFans and all this stuff. So Kenya proceeds to show this to a crowd of 200 people that are there to celebrate her hair care line and spa. And she shows it on the show, and next thing you know, Kenya's fired. She's no longer in the confessionals. She's no longer in the teaser. She's no longer invited to the reunion, which I just found that out today, right? So my question to you guys is, and I'll discuss it with myself, right? Is that right, self? Okay. So I'm going to discuss it with myself, but I wonder what you guys think. There's a few things working here. Do you think Kenya should have been fired for this if it was public knowledge? Now, Britt is saying that she cleaned the internet. She spent thousands of dollars to clean the internet and get these images off. So she doesn't know how Kenya found it. But my question is, Kenya showing it at her event, yes, it's wrong. Showing it at all, probably wrong. Probably would have been better if she just called her a porn star or a slut or a hoe, and I have proof, right? Instead of showing it or, premeditating to blast it. Because all these housewives do this, right? All these housewives have these issues, and they go low and lower and lower and lower. So I don't feel like Kenya's the only one. I guess it's a matter of the way in which she did it. And then it kind of outshined her own event. So my question to you guys, which is something that Kenya said today, because now she has her own podcast, since she's fired from the show, who knows if that's temporary or not, but she's saying that, is there a big difference between the white housewives shows and the black Real Housewives of Atlanta shows? Because, for instance, on Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa Giudice, she went to jail and came back to her spot on the show, Housewives of Jersey. She's also shaken the table, and they've had altercations, and they've gone low there. And then you had the Vanderpump Rules, where there was really revenge porn investigation, and those people are still working, and that kind of thing. So I feel like there's a few things going here. It's like a conversation about fairness in the media, fairness for black women, fairness for being in this kind of genre where it's expected to fight, right? It's expected to say craziness or, go really low with your castmates. And how low is too low? How much is too much? So I don't know. In my opinion, I think it was in bad taste for Kenya to do what she did, considering who she is and how long she's been on the show. But I feel like it should have still been a conversation because Britt did threaten her with a pistol and she's still on the show. So that's a problem there. And I don't know. I don't know if I compare. I know people like to compare, well, the shows, the white show, they get to do this. And this show, they get to do that. And why did this happen to me? Well, here's a question. If I shoot someone, right, and I kill them, but I don't get caught, all right, and somebody else shoot somebody else, not the same person that I shot, right, but somebody shoots somebody else and they get caught and now they're doing 30 years in jail, right? Should they be able to make the complaint, well, Tiffany shot somebody too and she is not in jail? Like, it's like apples and oranges. Yeah, okay, so I don't know how I feel about that. I really feel like you cannot compare someone else to yourself. If you've taken the action that you're wrong for, you're just wrong. If you break the law and you don't get caught, you're lucky, okay? But if you get caught, I don't see that you compare to people that didn't get caught. Like, that's just my answer. So that's all I have on that. But the next trending topic, right? This, I don't know if this came out today or yesterday, but let's not date ourselves. Shannon Sharpe is now being sued for $50 million. Honey, I did not know Shannon Sharpe got no $50 million, but okay. So he's being sued by a former ex who they were together for a few years, and she's now saying that he filmed her in inappropriate ways, I guess when they were having sex or whatever, and shared it on different people or different platforms or whatever it is. So she's suing him for $50 million. And I'm assuming that this happened a few years ago. And I just don't know. I really don't. I mean, if it was relatively recent and, I don't know if criminal charges have been filed, but I feel like we're very sue happy nowadays in terms of, let me figure out who wronged me 30 years ago and let me go and find them if they have $1 or $2 to sue. So I really don't know much about the case, but this is something that's trending and we have to be on the lookout for what's happening there because I don't know, it seems like man after man after man, if you ever breathed and look at a woman and said something, you're being sued. So I will say, you better go back 20 and 30 years and make sure you don't have anybody out there. Next, Kanye, or Ye, crashing out. So, I guess he's divorced or he's not divorced. He talked about Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids, and now he's saying that he had a childhood molestation and he had been sucking his cousin's penis for 14 years, until the age of 14. So what I will say is, I personally think the way they have Wendy Williams all locked up in a building unnecessarily, Kanye needs a health check. It's a very precarious situation. He's saying random things that are coming to his mind. He's tweeting these things. Someone needs to really check on him. Someone needs to take responsibility for who he is. I don't know if that's Kim. I don't know if it's a family member, but I feel like all of these things are coming up for him now. And, he might have had some losses. I don't know what's happening, but it's a very dangerous situation. He needs a mental health check because the things that he's saying it's just random and it's very public, and it's almost making it relatively easy for Kim to not let him see his own children. So that's one of the things that I'm concerned about, is how is he going to function as a father in his children's life. And then now this brings us to the fake bag controversy. Okay, so good old Donald Trump has decided that there will be tariffs, extreme tariffs, like 130% tariffs on anything from China. So all of you guys that don't have no hair, you better go stack up on some hair now, or we're gonna be walking around bald-headed, because this is a real thing. And now that he played that game, China has decided to play this card where they're letting everybody know that your Gucci, your Hermes, your Louis Vuitton is not made in Europe or Italy. It's made in China. they're saying that it's not just the boxes and the bags that the boxes and the bags for the bags, right, that they're making, because that's what a lot of these high-end retailers are saying. Oh, they don't make the actual product. They make what it comes in. And China, many people have come out in these factories saying that they are making Louis Vuitton, they are actually making Hermes, they're actually making Gucci, and that they are charging us 10,000 times the price of what it costs to make. And that they have great craftsmen there, and that Louis Vuitton and all of these high-end companies that we know are now, they were profiting all this time. Like, people are making $1 for your bag, and they're charging us $30,000 for a Kelly. So that's the question: is this true? Is it not? What's happening? I mean, we've been told that, even if you can get your hand on an Hermes, like, it's valuable, that it is going to increase in appreciation the second you have it, right? But how do you know whether your bag is real or fake, or is it an imitation, right? Because fake is just completely fake, from Ali or DH Gate or whatever, and you pay $50 for it. Imitation is, it's possible that what you have was made in the factory by the same exact workers that are making the Louis Vuitton that's going to Europe, right? But that they're selling it directly to you. So that's the difference in the quality. And they do it with jewelry too, because let me show you. I found my ring. This is Roberto coin, right? And so then I found a ring on Ali that's supposed to be Roberto coin. Now, obviously it's not, because it was like $10. But if you look at this, you can, I don't know if you can see, but I can tell the difference in the quality, and if you were here, you could probably tell it too. So this is what I would say, is that you put things side by side, right? This is so much golder. The diamonds aren't real. So you can kind of see, and then this is bigger and more gaudy. This is smaller and more delicate. So I would say, when you are doing a check on jewelry or bags, number one, if it's like 10,000% cheaper than the actual product, it's probably not real. But what people have been finding out when they go to rebag places, or when they go to like, because in order to buy an Hermes bag, you have to build up with your personal shopper a relationship, and you have to buy things first before you're even allowed to think about buying a Birkin, right? So if you go to secondhand stores that say that they have authenticated the bag, a lot of people are finding now that if you have gone to a rebag place and you've paid $18,000 for a bag that was $30,000, and now you're upset when you find out that it's not real. So I would say that you really need to do your research if you are going to purchase secondhand, because now I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I mean, I have some bags. Like, I never had to buy any of them myself, but I have some bags. I'm not worried about my bags though. But you guys, I think you should check into it. And I think that is it for our trending topics for this week. Thank you guys for staying tuned, and see you soon. Dr. Tiff.